on the left is what I've done so far, and to the right is the finished product, so to say. Not quite finished, but where I'm trying to go to. Comparing the two, at least visually now, they pretty much look the same. Okay, I mean there's little nuances here that are just really easy to fix, right? We have like some more margin up top over here. The links aren't the exact names, they're just the initials, and they're not exactly aligned to the center like they are here. But that's stuff that's easily changed. Now here's what's a little different. Look at how this functions when I click on these links. Pretty snappy. Just even when I refresh the document, it just appears. Now if you look here, you see, notice there's a bit of a transition. And even when I load the document, there's a transition as well. So, well, what do you think that is? That's just a jQuery. And it's like the differences where I did one to the other are subtle and just really simple to do. So let's start with our actual load in event. Now when we refresh this thing, here we go, just kind of comes. Now we could do the old, instead of going from this run DMC show, we do the fade in, right? And the fade in function, now, okay, you notice how it kind of sends us like a little, yeah, it just kind of appears. Now obviously the fade in function has options that if we wanted to delay this a bit, we could do that, and then see, this goes slower. I mean, even more so. It's cool. I'll tell you what, I mean, if this is a page that I'm actually, for the initial load time, it's probably fine. And I'm thinking that if you like set up a cookie to remember how many times the users visited your site, that kind of effect at the very beginning, the first time, is cool. But if every time they're like going back to this page and everything fades in like this, then it goes from like cool because it happened once to annoying because it's happening every time. So even the fade in thing, just the subtle, you know, I kind of like that because it's a little bit different than a lot of other pages, or at least well, not today, but at least non-jQuery or JavaScript pages. I think that effect's fine. I also think instead of doing this hide show for each one of them, I almost prefer the fade in effect on all of them, because here's what I'm going to do. So here's what it was, because I didn't refresh the browser yet. And here's what the fade in gets me. Fade in. Kind of cool, right? I mean, have you, probably by this point you've considered that if we do the fade in, why don't we fade out the other images? Why don't we try that? We'll do fade out. And then I'm just going to apply that instead of the hide on all of them. And let's see what that does. Give it a refresh. Oh, that's lame. Because up, why is that happening? Oh, well, actually, look at that. Slick Rick's the only one that works right. Well, you know the reason why that's happening is because it's oh, it's not happening. Once these things are double-clicked twice, it kind of works. The reason why that's happening is that the fade in is starting to happen before the fade out is complete. What could we do? Well, we could not use it, hint, hint, but or we could. Well, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say not use it. It's a stylistic choice, and you know what? Like if you use a unique stylistic choice effectively, you got an awesome effect. So let me just show you. We'll just go to chaining commands. You know, we'll chaining functions. So I could just add to the end of fade out maybe delay 450. Let's see what that looks like. I'm going to add it to a couple more of these so I could click between them. So what's going to happen here? The image pane is going to start fading out. It's going to delay the next thing it does, because who knows how long this fade out takes. We could tweak it later. And after this 45 millisecond, or yeah, like half a second, I guess, it's going to fade in. I forgot what the math on that is, but let's actually see this in action. Hey, look at that. That actually works out better. You know, this effect isn't too bad. But by adding that 450, we got rid of that flash window business. Actually, let's see if we do 350. Like, I'm trying to get it right on the edge, like the least amount of delay as possible, and still get this to go. You see that? You see to the right that stupid little shake? Yeah, that's not going to work. I wonder if 380 will do it. You know, essentially what you could do is just really play with this until you get exactly what you're going for. Oh, look at that. 380 worked. I mean, I guess I could keep on shaving the time down until I find out exactly what I want. Yeah, but I mean, this is, you know, pretty simple effects we have here. There's nothing mind-blowing that we did. I mean, nothing you couldn't figure out on your own without with just a brief introduction to jQuery and some basic knowledge. I mean, what do we have going on here? We have button functionality. We're chaining commands. We're targeting different elements. These two things are running as soon as the document is ready. I mean, I guess there is a good amount of stuff going on here, but again, nothing mind-blowing. And if you consider all the code that we've generated in doing this, here's our JS, our JavaScript. Here's our CSS, and then our HTML. This is not a lot of stuff going on. It's pretty bare bones, and if it gets us some decent results, hey, I like it.